Oh, so guys, what do you know about dragon soup? A friend of mine left this at the office. No, it is. I'm going to just read out what it is, and you can just react as you feel is appropriate. Dragon soup, spelled S-O-O-P. This is not a sponsor, by the way, as you're about to find out. Is a flavoured fermented malt beverage containing high levels of caffeine, 35 milligrams per 100 ml, blended with taurine, guarana, and delicious flavours. 500 ml, 7.5%. Ah!
Wait. Have you got any cups? Oh, it's blue.
Blue.
I don't want that much.
Have some dragon soup, mate. That's gonna wet you up.
It tastes like shit.
That'll put air on your fucking nips. That will.
It smells like Blue Wicked.
Yeah. Do you know what it tastes like though? Disappointment. So here at Fact Fiend, we've made it a mission to discuss every facet of the production of the movie Robocop, and in keeping with that idea, today we're discussing one particular element of the Robocop mythos, particularly his gun. The Auto 9, and the fact that it resulted in all the people making the movie having to use 3 times as much blood. Is that a good intro? And we don't drink as much as in these videos, but now Brad's back in Sheffield, the bad influence is back. The bad influence, all that professional stuff we had set up, Scott.
It's the Brad influence.
The Brad influence.
I like that behind the scenes lore. Karl doesn't drink. Karl's teetotal. I just bring drink with me every time.
No, that's the thing. I drink way too much. Like during the pandemic, I remember just once my girlfriend pointed out, it's like, you drank quite a bit tonight. I said, I had a few beers. And she pointed over to the sink where my bottles were. You had 10 beers. And I went, oh God, that's a lot of beers. I'm back at the gym now, so I can drink more. Anyway, Robocop. What do you all know about the Auto 9? It's like, what do you know about the gun? You've seen the film or you've seen clips or
I've
anything?
seen him shoot it, yeah.
It's like a triple burst pistol, isn't it?
Yes, and it's known in Robocop canon as the Auto 9. And it's one of the most badass things in fiction, I think. Like, as fictional guns go, it's one of my favourite. And me being a huge nerd for behind-the-scenes Robocop stuff, the in-universe lore for the Auto 9 makes no sense. For example, it has a 50-round magazine.
But it has 3 shots?
Yes. Did you just do some I'm not doing that math, but does someone want to do that math on, how many bullets are left over for the 3-round burst? Would it be?
Yeah, 48's divisible by 3.
Okay, so we'd have 2 bullets left over. But also, does that gun look like it carries 50 fucking bullets? It'd have a magazine like this long. Do you know in Modern Warfare 2, where you get, the Rafficas and stuff, and you put the extended mags on, it's all the way down here.
Could it be that the bullets are inside his arm?
They are not inside his arm, no. But the gun itself is housed within Robocop's own body.
It's in his leg, isn't it?
Yep, it's held inside of his leg, which they never show in any full profile shot of Peter Weller in costume. They built a separate leg prop that the gun would slide into and out of, and they just had Peter Weller's hand put the gun in.
What's in his other leg?
It depends on which version of Robocop you're watching, but he can keep... He don't have a knife, but he has mines, and other police, equipment.
I feel like you could make a joke video out of what is in Robocop's other leg? It's just trying to think of the most ridiculous thing.
A car.
Well, he's already got a car.
No, his police car comes out of his leg.
It's like a transformer.
His leg. He takes a panel off his leg and it turns into a car.
There's so much stuff inside of Robocop because, he's the ultimate perfect
Like
police
love.
officer. Yeah, well, he's got his human parts. Alex Murphy's still in there and he loves his wife. You don't see her much, but he does. It's one of the things that, that helps him hold on to his humanity. But yeah, he's got his gun inside of his leg. And one of the reasons why it's said to have a 50-round magazine is because director Paul Verhoeven did not want Robocop to reload on screen. He thought that would detract from the action, so you virtually never see Robocop reload, except for a couple of shots where they quickly pan away or cut away, because they didn't want to include that in the movie. So as a result, they had to explain, well, why does the gun just seemingly fire forever? It's got 50 rounds. But it's this big.
It's tiny.
Don't worry about
very
it.
small rounds.
It's the film logic, isn't it? It's don't ask questions, just agree.
But the amount of extra stuff inside Robocop, I think my favourite one is just the ram bolts he has in his legs. Of when he's just stood on the street, he can anchor himself to the floor. Do you have a favourite moment of just someone being hit by a car in fiction?
Oh no, yes. Meet Joe Black. Have you seen it?
I've not seen this. What happens?
I don't remember a lot about this film. I'm pretty sure the thing I'm thinking of is from this film.
Okay.
But Brad Pitt's playing this guy who dies, and then his body gets taken over by, I think, the devil. But the scene where he gets hit by the car is the one where he bounces off one bonnet onto another bonnet, and then bounces off that bonnet.
I think I've seen that GIF. It's called the ping pong shot or something. It went around early in the days of the internet as the ping pong shot, and it was framed as real. Because there's a bunch of those like old clips from movies that went around as like purported to be real. I think the one that got the most people is the fight scene from Never Back Down, which is where like the guy, it's just an MMA film where a guy's fighting a capoeira fighter, and he's mid backflip and the guy punches him, and that gets framed as like a real fight between a capoeira fighter and an MMA fighter, and it's not. It's just a crap movie. Wait, 1 sec. It's been a while. This is why we had the laptop in the other video. It's why we had to move to doing that. Right? My memory's not what it once was, so yes.
I like the canonical reason why we got a desk and a laptop is because you're getting so old your memory's going.
No, it's because there were so many facts inside my head that I couldn't remember them all.
Alright, Homer.
But no. In regards to the Auto 9, like, within Robocop lore, like, he is the perfect police officer, despite the fact he can walk at like 1 mile an hour. And I feel it'd be really easy to escape from Robocop. I love the films, but all you need to do is just move faster than a guy walking.
He's got to have like that Michael Myers tech though.
No. Like, he does get a jetpack in the third movie. So I guess that'd be one thing.
That
he
does
can
even
try.
things a bit. You know, you run, the criminal runs around the corner and they think they've escaped and he's right on your tail. That's
Okay, yeah, he does only have like 24 hours of battery life, but you know, that's besides the point. But within...
Is that true?
Yeah, he can operate for 24 hours before recharging.
You run out during a fight.
Yeah, he can also starve to death.
Oh shit.
Yeah, because he's got rudimentary organs. But anyway, we've talked about that in other videos, but in regards to the Auto 9 within the Robocop universe, like, it is like, in Alex Murphy's hands, that is the perfect weapon. Because he has like, you know, the laser targeting system, and that combined with the fact he's 100% completely immune to gunfire himself, means that he can just walk through a room full of people shooting guns at him and just shoot them all in the penis. And I know someone in the comments is going to talk about the My Robocop remake, where some special effects guys made the rapist scene from Robocop where he shoots the guy in his, like, you know, his flaccid rapist penis, and they just like had Robocop shooting everyone in the dick. I know about that scene, I just don't like linking it because we don't want to get demonetized. We're already drinking in videos again. There's only so much we can put in them.
Do you reckon YouTube demonetizes people for drinking?
I just say it's monster. Also, as well, it's part of my culture. I'm from the north. Well, the only thing we had to do was throw rocks at trains and drink cider in fields. And there's no rocks here, so I want to drink in this virtual field.
Should get that on a t-shirt.
What?
So I like to throw rocks and drink cider, and I'm all out of rocks.
So something I didn't mention in the intro, because I don't know why I forgot to mention it, but Robocop's gun is actually illegal in real life. And would you like to hazard a guess about why Robocop was using an illegal crime gun to fight crime?
Wait, to clarify, was the prop that they made for the film illegal?
Yes.
Or in universe was the gun he was using not legal?
In our universe, the prop that Peter Weller was using as Alex Murphy was illegal. So you like to hazard a guess about why?
There was like no safety.
No, it had a safety. Like, no, last thing, it was a real gun. And again, we have to like go to here, double check. It is a modified Beretta M93R.
Because it's modified, maybe something.
Well, I mean, it's technically close to automatic, isn't it?
Because it could fire 3 rounds, and it could fire 3 rounds in a semi-automatic fashion, which technically, on paper, made the Auto 9, like, you know, when it had been constructed by prop makers, the equivalent of an assault weapon. Because, like, as you mentioned there, you could fire 3 rounds as quickly as you could pull the trigger, which is not a thing you should probably put in the hands of civilians. And even though it was a prop that could fire blanks, you can just swap those blanks out for a real gun. Then you've got a very dangerous thing. And, like, I guess now we're entering into the territory of, like, maybe people shouldn't have the ability to fire that many bullets from a thing they can buy from stores.
But Karl, we're doing early fact Fiend. Don't get political.
Maybe people just don't like getting shot by guns. Is it political to say I don't want to get shot? Here's the thing, you want to hunt, and you think you're a big dick hunter, you're like, the less weaponry, the less firepower you have, the bigger your dick looks.
Wrestle a lion.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Nobody would have had a problem with Cecil dying if that dentist had wrestled it to the ground and strangled it.
Did you see that story the other day? There was like a big game hunter in Africa who had like a $50,000 like elephant gun. And he was on the side of the road, and people just shot him and stole his gun. And like the family were like, we don't know what he did to deserve this. It's like, are you kidding? That's the most like poetically ironic death I've ever heard of a big game trophy hunter got hunted and shot for the trophy that he had. The only way it could be more karmic is if the lion did it. If a lion just did a drive-by on the fucker.
They go past the lion den and his head is mounted on the side.
Anyway, in regards to, like, you know, the modified Beretta M93R, well, you have to, like, we can pull back the curtain on this. If you're on the internet, there's 3 things I advise people never to talk about. 1 is cars, 2 is guns, the 3rd is World War II. Because you will always get people correcting you on those 3 things. Because there is a weird amount of men, and it's always men, who base their entire personality around one of those 3 things. But in specific regards to the Auto 9, in addition to causing trouble for production, just getting the gun into the country, it also caused trouble for the special effects crew, because the Auto 9 fires 3 bullets. And as a result of firing 3 bullets, they had to use literally 3 times as many squibs for every person Robocop shot. So every time Robocop shot somebody, they had to load them with 3 times the amount of squibs they would ordinarily use, because they had to replicate them being hit by 3 bullets at once, all within a small area. And there's a great behind-the-scenes bit where, like, with the special effects supervisor, he's like holding up an entire bag of blood of like, this is what we normally use for, like, you know, an entire shootout in another movie. What are you doing with it? Oh, we're putting it on one guy. Just one guy gets shot by Robocop because that's how fucking OP powerful this gun is.
And these are extra large blood bags, but in a lot of the sequences, that's how much blood we use with 3 or 4 of the bullet hits to get the blood gushing and spurting off the chest cavity and the body cavities.
But yeah, that's how Robocop's gun caused a bunch of problems behind the scenes. So nearby, Brad and Nisha. This is an experiment of sorts, isn't it? Because we can pull back the curtain just a tad. And Brad, you are moving back to Sheffield, yes?
I am indeed.
You've been out of Sheffield for a good couple of years now, you know, pandemic and all that good stuff. So part of the reason why we've not done many drinking videos, we keep getting asked, it's like, why don't you do drinking videos anymore? It's like, 1, we were during the pandemic for a while. It's really hard to justify drinking in my house alone. Like, the longer the pandemic went on, the more depressing that got.
It's not hard to justify, is it?
Yeah, it's just hard to not have that look depressing.
Yeah.
And then it was like, you know, the entire Fact Fiend crew was very, like, you know, separated. Because initially it was me and you in the same house.
Yeah.
We were in literally the same house, and we didn't have any obligations outside of, like, you know, the crap jobs we had, and then Fact Fiend. Now Fact Fiend is like a business, and, you know, and just one of the things we noticed is, like, I think we talked about today, isn't it? Just, we didn't realise how business-like just interactions have become. And one of the things we talked about when the channel first started is we don't want it to feel like a job.
Yeah.
Because I could just go into an office and have my day feel like I'm working an office job. And we thought maybe, like, symbolically sitting behind the desk was kind of doing that. So we thought maybe, like, just try a video standing up and maybe, like, you know, give us a fresh perspective.
What people don't realise about YouTubers and streamers as well is that when you have to stick to a schedule and get so many things out all the time, you sort of reach the point where you're not enjoying it the same way.
Yes.
Because it's a job. And yeah, we were sort of chatting and we realised that we felt like we may have been hitting that point, especially with the pandemic, when you have to keep going but the world's falling to shit.
But it's also the thing of what we thought, like, you know, just the physical act of just changing. It's like, you know, sitting down. I like sitting down. It's nice. It's nice to have a good sit from the lowliest peasant to the mightiest emperor. Who doesn't enjoy a good sit? But at the same time, it did feel like, you know, I'm sitting down for office job. And while I did enjoy the professionalism aspect and, like, you know, how much more clean it made the videos look, I feel we lost a bit of, like, you know, the edge that made us successful in the first place. And also, like, you know, the fun. Because we had that conversation just before recording this, like, yeah, we don't really laugh much anymore, do we? And that was a really depressing, I'm not laughing when I'm talking to my, the whole point of these videos is that I'm having a laugh with my mates. There is some things I'll miss, though, from having the desk, so we're going to try and keep a few coochie comforts.
The, like, little trinkets.
Yes, I did. I'm going to miss that, and also maybe, like, Wiki Weekends specifically might use the desk, just so we can have reading from the screen.
We don't tend to use the bottom of the screen that much, so you could get, like, a little mini table and put some stuff on that, and just to sit behind you.
I get a lectern. Get a lectern. Just get progressively more pissed at a lectern.
God. So in churches, they have the ones that have, like, the eagles. Can we get one of those?
Just have it like Fact Fiend.
Golden eagle.
If we can justify getting the money to fly Lucas in.
Yes.
He's the only one who's not in Sheffield, so if we can justify getting Lucas in, and we can, like, I can just start writing off a crate of beer per week. We can get that crate of beer in, and we can start doing that. We can start playing Wizard Staff.
We need to send everyone to Lucas's next Twitch stream and just tell him to move to Sheffield.
I think he could.
I think he says he can move closer, but he can move to Sheffield.
You can move closer.
He just moves his desk a foot closer.
I was just seeing that because I thought he texted me. It's like, no, it's my mate. It was like, we're going bowling later. It's like, shit, yeah, we are. There we go. We're at 28 minutes now. But cheers, everybody. I am enjoying like the classic style. Maybe people will see more of it. I'll ask for more of it.
Yeah, this drink is toxic as fuck.
It is. I hate it.
I don't want to try it.
If you had one sip, you'd definitely drive faster. But I imagine you'd be doing a lot of like handbrake turns on your way home.
Should we put my foot down?